Hello and welcome back to Let's Play The Legend of Zelda The Oracle of Ages. On the last episode, we got here to Crescent Island, home of the dumb Tokay dinosaur guys who stole our items because we washed up on a broken raft and they're like, hey, we'll just take your items because we're dumb dinosaur guys. We were able to get all of our items back with the exception of our shovel because the shop owner guy was like, hey, you can't get it back without scent seeds. But luckily for us, we were able to find a scent seedling in the past and we planted it, so now in the future it is that mighty, beautiful scent seed. So we'll be able to get our scent seeds and go get our shovel back, and I walked into water because I wasn't looking at the screen, which I probably should do. Looking at a screen has reportedly made you better at video games. It's a very obscure study. I'm not sure if anybody would ever believe that kind of bullshit though. So I have to cook dinner for all the Tokay, but my doughs is all stubbed up. I cook, it will taste awful. So in like the heart of trade sequences, we're just gonna give them our stink bag that we got out of the toilet, because it does have a use. I know it surprises me as well that just some bag that you got out of a toilet from a disembodied hand would ever have any use. But the use being to clear his sinuses, because it smells like a toilet from a disembodied toilet hand. But like I said, in the heart of a trading quest, he's going to give us something for it, and even though I assume that stink bag is going to be immediately destroyed, because, fuck that noise. Who wants a stink bag? Like I pointed out in the other episode, there are those little seeds. If you push them up against the wall and like little cracks like this, they'll grow into mighty vines that you can climb up. Otherwise, they just become this pitiful little plant that does nothing but just say, like, I could have been something, and it was your fault that I didn't grow up properly, but whatever. If you do though, they become these vines. This guy's gonna be like, oh, blah 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 blah. Vines take a while to grow, kind of giving you that little hint that you need to grow the vines to be able to get around the island a bit easier. And hello, open place that we're never going to go. Yep, that open place that definitely doesn't house an essence of time that we're going to need. Nope, nope, nope. Because all we can care about are the scent seeds. Scent seeds do the exact same thing as they do in the other Oracle game, where you can attract monsters with them, make little traps, whatever. They're definitely kind of like the most useless out of all the seeds, and I actually don't need my seeds, I'm going to need my heart, because we're going back to the past, Samurai Jack. But they have their own use in their own little way. I won't get into it later. I won't get into it later. Well, I'm sorry, I'm never going to talk. No, we'll talk about it later whenever it's more relevant. Because I guess scent seeds are relevant right now, but why they're relevant will become a thing later, and then it will be like, hey, look, they're relevant again. The stupid scent seed guys. I will play you a song and you'll give me my shovel back, right? That's how that works. No, we'll just to get your shovel back, you're gonna have to trade him back the hoop, and then you buy the hoop for the scent seeds, because he wants scent seeds for the hoop. Not the shovel. The shovel he just doesn't really give a shit about. So then you get all of your items back. I didn't know this before, but if you come back in here, you can actually buy your shovel back. That's what happens to your shovel. There's something else that happens that I thought was related to what happens to our shovel since we don't get it back. But no, you can buy it back for 10 more scent seeds, which... Shouldn't we have 10 seeds, or did it take 20? Where's my... what's going on? Wait, we only have 8 for some reason. Oh, I don't... It does not matter. We can live without a shield for a while. That's what I was going for. I was going for my feather. Feathers are always a good thing, because feather or not a feather is a good thing. I'm just gonna go in this cave. Fuck whatever I was saying. It wasn't that important. But yeah, we needed to get all of our items back because there is a little time portal thing on the west side of this island, like the Tokay, who is by the east one. He's like, hey, there's another time portal. Well, he doesn't say time portal. He says, like, there's a marking over there, because they're dumb dinosaur guys, and they don't know what time is. Well, I assume they have a concept of time, but, they don't know what time travel is, because, they're dinosaur guys, and if they knew how to do time travel, we would all be fucked. But that's not important, because you need to get all of your items back, including your shovel. You can't just say, screw the shovel, I'm done with that. You need your shovel because, conveniently the time portal is behind the riffle-raffle of, garbage that you need to move with your shovel. And then you need your Harp of Ages back because it's, of course, the plot item. And just leaving the plot item with the dinosaur guy, while I'm sure it wouldn't have any negative side effects of, a time-traveling dinosaur, I'm sure it's probably just not a good idea to leave it with him, even if he was too dumb to figure out how to utilize it, which I'm sure he is. And don't take that time portal as much as it's like, oh hey, there's a time portal, I'm gonna take it back. it'll just kind of screw you out of wherever you want to go. Because what you want to do is come in here and go to level 3, the Moonlit Grotto. Like I said in the other episode, this area manages to be very, very memorable to me for some reason, beyond my natural understanding of things. This dungeon always is kind of what I think about whenever I think about this game, despite this game being as good as it is. So it's really weird. I always think about this dungeon because whenever I look back on it, this dungeon can actually be a little bit tedious. We'll get into why it's tedious. It's actually something I said in Oracle of Seasons that I liked, but I'm sure the only reason I think I like it is because this level is as memorable as it is for me for, you know, God knows why. And oh, look, Mauldrums! I love these little guys. Oh, Mauldrums. I really hope Mauldrums is how it's pronounced, because I've been calling them Mauldrums for years, ever since that, like, first Mauldrum boss. Well, I guess he wasn't really the first Mauldrum, but the Mauldrum from, Link to the Past. Yeah, that guy. And, those were those little birdie guys from the Unicorn's Cave. They make an appearance in this game, of course, because, you know, making new enemies would be dumb. But the thing is, there isn't the magnetic gloves in this game. There are different items in both games, since, you know, they're two different games completely, so they do have different items, which is really cool. So they have their own way of getting rid of their masks in this game, which well, it is definitely a more traditional Zelda way to go about doing things. Wait, what was I doing? I don't remember what... I bombed something over here. Did that change something and I wasn't paying... I don't know what's going on anymore. I actually do not remember what... Oh, no, I see it. I'm dumb. You just want to get rid of these blocks so we can get to that crystal. We broke that other crystal, and I didn't mention it because I was talking about the Unicorn's Cave, which gives you, you know, magnetic gloves in the other game, and I like those. But you break these, and the whole temple shakes. There's a bunch of crystals, and we want to hit them all because, you know, something shaking can only be nothing but good. There's definitely, you know, nothing wrong about this whole temple shaking business. Because, you know, temple shaking, I don't think I could have ever said temple shaking more than what I just... words, I'm not good at them, I'm sorry. I don't know what words are. English isn't my first language. My first language is dumb. That is my first language. I speak dumb, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. So we'll just move on to this dungeon and forget that ever happened. That would make me feel good, but you know, I'm sure you guys would just be like, no, he's dumb. I will never forgive you. Because I wouldn't forgive me if I were you guys. But I managed to not talk about it, even though I had said that I liked them. But these spinner puzzles, I said that I liked them in Oracle of Seasons. And I don't think it's so much that I like them, but since this part of the game is as memorable as it is for me, that I think back to this thing and I'm like, oh, I like that game, so I must kind of like this mechanic in the game. Personally, I think it's interesting, puzzle-wise, because, you know, it kind of limits you to the rooms that you can go to, and it's kind of an interesting thing. But in the end, especially with this dungeon, if it's going to end up working the way I think it is, there's going to be a lot of backtracking that we need to do, which I'll do my best to remember to cut out, but I usually kind of go on rants and then forget what's going on. But somehow my brain keeps remembering to play the game, which is impressive in its own right, but kind of sad that I've developed a Zelda sense as opposed to something more useful like laser vision. Speaking of laser vision, that would be very useful right now so I can kill these Armos, although I'm not sure if lasers can kill these guys. I know bombs would, and I don't think we have enough bombs to kill them. There's like an endless amount of bombs in this temple, dungeon, Moonlit Grotto, whatever you want to call it. Because there's... Did I just turn my bomb off the screen? I didn't even know you could do that. I thought it would bounce off like there was a wall. That's actually kind of cool. But these guys can only be killed with bombs, and of course I suck at the whole bomb aiming thing, and I'm also not putting my whole brain into this. I think if you just kind of run at them with the bomb in your hand, you can get them with kind of like a little suicide explosion. Well, of course you won't die. You'll take damage, though. Which might be easier if you suck at that like I do. Which is why I ended up utilizing it. But the easiest way to do that is you want to leave a bomb on at least one of them before you hit the button, so it'll go off like right as it comes off. So you'll be fine. Oh no, God, we're gonna die, aren't we? Oh God, you just gotta hit the button really fast and you won't die. Oh my God, thank God we have that life potion, because you know that spares us both beeping and the other things. And this room isn't difficult at all. You just want to make sure you take out those red the little gels before you get too far in, because you can deal with the tiles without a problem, because you can just whack them with your sword. And they go away. But I managed to screw that up royally because, you know, I'm a dumb. Thank God we had that life potion. Because I don't think we've died in this game. I know that's not that big of a statement because, you know, we're only on level 3. Level 3? Yeah, this is level 3. I also don't know how to count. Just add that to my dumb list. But, yeah, that's kind of good, seeing as we died as many times in Ages with me being kind of a derp. We need a key to get back there, so, you know, we'll just head back. I was hoping that would have a key, but, you know, that'd be a little bit too convenient. So, you know, we'll just continue onwards in the dungeon. That one grass room, though, that can be a bit annoying because they have all the grass beetles in there. So you just want to be a bit careful making, like, corners because then they'll just pop out and be like, I got you, bro! And then they, like, stab you, and you're like, no, that was bad, and we can't go over there because, you know, it's cut off. So we'll just move on with our lives. Maybe get some... I was gonna say, hopefully we'll get some more bombs, but we're full up on bombs. I don't see any reason why we would need bombs. And you could throw bombs at this guy to kill him. But since you're still in range, just whack him with your sword, and I'll let more Pole's Voice. Pole's Voice can, of course, be killed easier using sound, which is nice because you get the harp earlier on in this game than you do the flute, so you get a, you know, a nice convenient item for killing those pesky Pole's Voice. This guy, on the other hand, the bombs that you would have had to throw at the Pole's Voice, you're gonna have to throw at him, because he's not... Oh, that was cool, the bomb hit him twice, that was really neat, I didn't know that would happen. Or, well, not that I didn't know that would happen, I of course didn't know it would happen, but I didn't think that it could happen. But you know what they say, thinking is a thing that you should do more often. And I probably should have surveyed the room to see what I thought that crystal would do. I just thought it would just give us an item. But, you know, waking up an Arma for us to kill is always a thing as well. Maybe we can get this bomb and we can move off 4. Wait, that gives us 4 bombs. It's a bit of an odd number to give off. You know, maybe like I'm grateful it's not just 1. Like, don't get me wrong, but just 4 is kind of an odd like here you go amount. Because, you know, it's just so close to 5. You can give it off in sets of 5, and then brains would be made. And I have a thing. Maybe the quick way is just to go this way, because I was gonna go down there. Actually, we actually do need to be over there now I think about that. That was a dumb mistake I just made. Don't do what I did. You want to go back to that room, because there's actually a crystal that we're going to pass up by going this way. But that's fine, because since we have as much backtracking as we do, in fact, I'll just run over there and go hit that right now, and then we can go back to that room with all the grass beetles. Here we go. You just go up instead of down through the door that you would get for killing that ball drum, and you get to the crystal, and then you break it, and then like the temple's like, oh no, you broke another one of those crystals, which makes me shake uncontrollably. So now we'll just head off back to the grass room, and everything will be good. And here we go. At the end of the room, there's a keyhole, which we can go ahead and move on. And oh darn, how will we ever light that torch that's in the middle of a whole room thing? A whole room. A hole in the room. I kind of like our mimics, they're neat. They just follow your movements and whatever you do. But you can kind of fuck around with them, because they just follow whatever movement you make on the D-pad. If you hold down well, not hold down, but if you keep whacking your sword, you won't move, because at that point it remaps your sword to like spinning your body, so you can just, you know, kind of fight one area, and you can move them around the room without actually having to move, which is kind of neat. But here we have the Seed Shooter. It's kind of the alternative to the Slingshot from Seasons, but in my opinion, it's much more useful. Even though the Hyper Slingshot, of course, launches off 3, it being more useful in my opinion because you can angle it, and not only that, it ricochets seeds off the walls, which is a really cool mechanic in my opinion, which definitely opens up a lot of possibilities for puzzles that we're going to see in the future. Because, you know, puzzles are the reason for life. Professor Layton agrees, and if he agrees, why would you disagree with him? I mean, he's Professor Layton. He wears a fancy hat and everything. I could not disagree with a person with a fancy hat, but, you know, we're going off topic here because, you know, Professor Layton isn't in this. I said that, and then I legitimately surprised myself, which, it's probably a bad thing. I don't know why. I legitimately got surprised, like, telling myself that Professor Layton isn't in this game. Because I take that back. Professor Layton is in all games, because he's the spirit of puzzle. If there's a puzzle in your game, the spirit of Professor Layton lives on in the game. You couldn't break this crystal earlier, even if you threw a bomb at it, as you would learn by that one room. But you can shoot a seed at it, and it breaks it, because, you know, the seed is mightier than the bomb. But this is actually the last crystal, and since we've broken them all, you know, a bigger shake, and it sounds like something heavy fell down below. What ended up happening is the spinner that was in this room that we're about to go into falls to the floor below, which gives us access to that one room where we walk in and there's nothing there, which we'll actually get to see in a second, because I probably just delivered the most shoddy explanation for anything. Well, I take that back. I've probably done more shoddy explanations, because I assume no one can be shoddier than me when it comes to explaining stuff. But now we have this spinner in this room, on the lower floor, so we can kind of get more access to this bottom floor, because I'm actually Yeah, this is the bottom floor, because we had to fall to get down here. I think, okay, you don't have to kill those guys if you don't want to, but if they start bothering you during this puzzle, then, you know, just go ahead and whack them a good one. What you want to do is just, you know, angle your seeds to get into both torches, and then you're fine, and then you can move on. Torches? Are those really, like, torches? They're more like, just like, I guess they're torches, whatever. You know, same thing, really. And actually, we'll want to go out the other way out of this room, so we actually will probably, oh, no, you don't have to kill him to, I was gonna say, we'll probably have to kill the little birdie guy to move on. But nope. I kind of like this, I can't believe I didn't mention it, but there's like a nice little ambush of enemies here, because this is where you would fall down, so it's just like a bunch of enemies just waiting there to kick your ass. If you were just kind of waiting around. We just picked up a Scent Seed, which, you know, might make the Scent Seed relevant again, because the Scent Seed's best use, in my opinion, is as ammunition for the Seed Shooter, because you can use it as, like, a long-distance thing, and I actually was hoping it would kill that. But, you know, whatever. And, oh, darn, looks like we can't get that. That chest definitely looks like it's a boss key material type place. Actually, are we that close to the boss that we would need? Oh, it's probably not. It's probably just a key that we'll get in a while. It's not important. As long as I'm underground, your attacks don't scare me. And here we have just some mole boss. He's not a problem at all. No, I thought that was my shovel because it has the same colors. My eyes kind of zone out sometimes when I'm playing because I tend not to blink for some reason because I'm a dumb. He's very easy to beat. Just pull him out of the ground and beat the living shit out of him. You could probably be more tactful and get out of the way whenever he's, you know, walking towards you. But you know, just tact isn't a thing. And actually, is that a thing that we can do? Let me check this before we move on with this temple. Actually, we might be able to go ahead and go and get what's in this room. It doesn't work that way, does it? I'm looping my fingers around, but nothing's happening. Oh, whatever. We'll just move on with the dungeon. We'll worry about that one room later. Because I have a feeling. I've got a feeling deep inside that's you know, the boss key. This puzzle right here is just a giant. I can't explain how much I disdain this puzzle. Now, I know that sounds like a joke, but I am completely serious. And it's not because it's hard. It's very obvious. But that's why that puzzle screws me over. Oh, no, look, boss door. That's why that puzzle screws me over as much as it does. Because you kill them all drums, and it's like, okay, now I've killed them all drums. It's time to push the block. That is the puzzle. I can very clearly see that puzzle is out of place. Not the puzzle, that block's out of place with the other ones. But the thing is, sometimes it feels like, if you aren't lined up perfectly, well, that's not even it. Sometimes you can get on that block at a right, or any block in the game when it comes to a block puzzle, you can get on it in a right angle where it doesn't want to move, and then it's just like, no, fuck your shit, I refuse to do that, and, what am I thinking? I don't know. Oh, no, that's what I'm thinking. Now that we have that pointing that way, we can get to that room, because that will lead to that boss key, thing, or I'm assuming that's the boss key, because I don't think we have any other things. Yeah, I'm pretty sure, I am going to say I'm 85% sure that's the boss key, especially since I keep calling it the boss key. So at that point, it might as well just be the boss key to me. Because now it should throw us in the other direction and take us there. So I'm going to go back to the beginning of the dungeon, take the sun warp to the boss, the mini-boss, and I'll meet you guys back. There. Meet you guys back there. Out of the sun warp, out of the mole's room, and if I'm right about the layout of this temple, which I'm hoping I am, because I've been running around here for like 20 minutes, that would take us to the spinner, and it did, which should take us to like this puzzle should be like the trial to get the boss key, because I am so sure that is the boss key. We'll just go ahead and use our seed shooter, because we need to hit that thing, and that's the only thing I could think that would work. And I want to angle it so it goes through and hits that, no problem. That was a difficult trial for our brand new seed shooter. I actually really like the seed shooter. I definitely like it more than the slingshot, which I'm sure you're supposed to, because, you know, it has a bit more, you know, it has that oomph that you need for puzzles. Whatever the hell that may mean. I'm sure that means something. But I really like it. It may not launch the hyper slingshot, but you know, hyper slingshot was a level 2 weapon. This of course doesn't have a level 2. Well, of course. I mean, that's actually not something I should be saying. But it doesn't have a level 2. But I still think it's far more useful than the hyper slingshot by far, because the hyper slingshot just kind of seemed like it's weird. The hyper slingshot, I was gonna say, seems more like a gimmick, despite the fact that this one is the one with the gimmick. Because, you know, it's the one that does something and I hit the wrong button, which I don't know how I could have managed to do that. I've been playing this game for a while. I should know the difference between my A button and my B button. But of course, you know, that would require learning and, you know, coherent thought, and I don't do either of those things. So we'll just go ahead and use our seed shooter more, and we're only seeing the beginning of these puzzles, because, of course, you know, puzzles, they're only going to get harder as time goes on, which, you know, makes them a bit more fun, because, you know, hard puzzles are always fun, just those little brainy conundrums that you get stuck in. And oh, Molotrum, I'm just going to kick your ass again for being part of that stupid little block puzzle that I really dislike for some reason, but, you know, whatever, Molotrum, we're just going to move on with the boss. And, in the theme, in the theme of this, I was going to say, I like this boss. But I like this entire temple. I've justified my reason for liking this temple. Yeah! You cannot see who I am, for I am your shadow! This is Shadow Hag. She's gonna break up into shadows, chase you around, and then she'll come back together. And the secret to hurting her is, you know, shooting her with a seed. But it's not easy as just shooting her with a seed. You can't look at her. You should actually also probably get the hell out of the way. You can't look at her whenever she's attacking you. Otherwise, she'll disappear. So you gotta ricochet it off the wall to hit her. The easiest way, of course, just being facing the wall and bouncing it back, getting out of the way. Those butterflies that she releases are mainly serve the purpose of, you know, like refilling your seeds. But they do something else that's neat. Because normally, like, those little enemies that bosses spawn are you know, literally just for getting consumable items back. Where it's just like, okay, you guys are just for refills. But in this, it feels like, you know, they have a purpose, because they can be used as a shield for her to block your seed. And by taking the seed up, it's just kind of like, well, damn, I've missed my chance to get her. But they will drop seeds for you whenever you need seeds. And she's still chasing us? No, I guess she decided to break apart. She just decided, like, nah, it's not worth giving chase. But whenever it comes to the seed shooter, my preferred seeds are definitely, you know, the Synth Seed, because, you know, it doesn't have too much of a purpose besides, you know, being used as that, and the Ember Seeds, because the Ember Seeds are very situational. But there we go. We've stolen the heart of a shadowy hag. We've made it through a very good dungeon. I'm glad that I was able to justify my reason for liking that dungeon. But, you know, it's fine, because we get the echoing howl, an essence of time. It echoes far across the plains to speak to insolent hearts, and it definitely doesn't look like a necklace. Like, I'm definitely not gonna, like, take it back to the Maku tree and put it around her and be like, hey, tree wife, I've got you something. Because that's not good. That wasn't... Oh, this isn't the Maku tree at all. Ambi's tower will soon be complete. Oh, I guess they're just telling us what's going on. Oh, wow, that is actually really complete. Much more complete than the last time we saw it. Once Ambi's tower is done, history shall remember me as the greatest of queens. How are they going to remember you, like, positively? You used a bunch of slave labor to put it together. Well, actually, now that I think about it, I guess the pyramids did take a lot of slave labor. But people still, like, look back on them like, dude, those are kick-ass. But they're also pyramids. So, you know, whatevs. I guess people will just forget and be like, I guess it's cool, you know. It's neat. Look, you have the echoing howl, but things are not going well. The Black Tower is nearing completion in the past. Terrible things will happen if you don't hurry. I hear an essence echoing from the peaks of northwest of Lena City. Can you go? No, I can't. I cannot go. So, you know, we'll continue on with our adventure next time, but we're actually just gonna go ahead and go further and meet an old friend, Dimitri. This huge fish washed ashore. It looks fresh and tasty. Red fish has a very exciting flavor. DD! So our friend Dimitri needs our help because things are going to eat him. He always seems to be getting himself in trouble. So we'll go ahead and just, you know, save him. Because the way to save him is just like the way to saving him whenever those kids are messing with him in the sunken city. Wow, shitty Pokemon city. The sunken city. But rather than giving them bombs like you gave the kids, you give them ember seeds because like those are red, those look tasty, and then they're gonna eat them. And then it's gonna be like, oh no, the pain, because they're made out of fire, and they set themselves on fire, and then they run away, and you know, it's like, whatevs, dog. I was almost eaten. I'm Dimitri. I can swim in the sea. Are you going somewhere? I can give you a ride. I chomp when you press A, blah, blah, blah. So we know how Dimitri works. So we've saved Dimitri, and we have a way of, you know, getting back to civilization. So, in the next episode, we'll you know, swim our way back to, you know, Lena City, and, you know, we'll go to the northern peaks of wherever we're supposed to go. Oh, I'm actually glad that I kept recording, because I like to plant a gaseous seed. See you guys later. Thanks for watching.